Education is one of the most fundamental foundations for a stable and progressive nation. Question: how is the quality of education here in the Philippines? Are we able to keep up with other students statistically around the globe? And what are our lawmakers doing to ensure quality education both for you and for me? I'm Rafa Lorenzana, and today these questions will be answered by Congressman Roman Romulo dito sa Ikaw, Ako, at Gobyerno.
So, Congressman, what do you think in our current Philippine educational system is most important that we need to change, or what do you think is an issue that could be implemented?
Well, the most immediate thing that we have to do is to focus on what we call functional literacy, meaning that one is able to read and understand. Second, we have to ensure that our learners at an early age will have a mastery of the basic mathematical skills. There's a World Bank report that came out a year ago or 2 years ago, which said that they estimate that the learning poverty in the Philippines is about 91%. What do they mean by learning poverty? They say that learning poverty means that you cannot understand a simple text that they are supposed to be reading age appropriate. So that is the low-hanging fruit that we must be able to address immediately. Meaning reading. We ensure that they know how to read and that they understand what they are reading, and the basic mathematical skills are mastered. Why do we need this? Because as you level up, then what you read becomes more complex. So if you cannot read a simple text and understand the simple text, what more when you go to the next level? What happens if you don't have a mastery of the simple mathematical skills like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication? As you level up again, then the problems become more complex. If you cannot understand the basic and the simple, how can you tackle those that are more complicated? That is why we must focus on what World Bank has identified, and that can be done because all we have to do is really reduce the number of competencies as recommended by the Department of Education itself, recommended by ACTRC, which is the joint partnership between the University of the Philippines and the Australian government. What they are saying is that we must focus really on these two basic things.
Yes.
And of course, science will enter at a certain grade level. But the point now is this is the low-hanging fruit. We must be able to address this. And that's basic in education.
Yes. And Congressman, what ways do you think the Philippine government can implement something in order to address this?
Right now, the Department of Education has introduced what they've termed as the Matatag curriculum. First, it reduced the number of competencies by 70%.
Yes.
Those are the learning areas within a subject matter. Second, grades 1 to 3 used to be 7, 8, 9 subjects. They've reduced it to 5 subjects for grades 1 to 2, and then by grade 3 you have sciences. In order for the school, the teacher, and the learner to focus on enhancing that functional literacy skills. And right now it's being piloted. And the reason for the pilot, according to the Department of Education, is that so that they can upskill all the teachers at the same time. Secondly, prepare the materials because the competencies are being reduced.
Okay. So, Congressman, in my personal opinion, I believe the most important asset is the youth because, as you know, it's the future of our country. So, how can we get the youth to be more job ready here in the Philippines?
Rafa, the most important thing really is that we enhance our education system, our education curriculum. The Filipino learner is smart, and that's been evidenced by many of the individuals who have shown that they are a cut above the rest.
Yes.
But then we don't want it to be a few individuals. So what we want is that it is for everybody, for everyone, every learner. And the way to do that really, to make our learners job ready by the time they finish basic education, is to ensure and enhance the curriculum. And that the moment they have this foundational functional literacy, they will exponentially grow on their own.
Exactly. So function literacy as well as a bit of technology, this can help sort of be a gateway for the Filipino learner.
Oh, definitely, because technology it can be positive or negative. Now, if we are able to enhance the functional literacy of every learner,
Yes.
they will use technology in a positive way. Once there's functional literacy, I'm certain Filipino learners will use that as a tool for research to learn more.
Now, in your mind, do you have any other proposed laws in which you think could be a major help to the Philippine system in any way?
First, EdCom 2 focuses on the whole sphere, the whole gamut of education, meaning from K to 12 and higher education and technical education.
Yeah.
Included in the discussions are first the Early Years Act, meaning at 0 to 8, one must be healthy,
Yes.
nutrition must be provided, because at 0 to 4, that is the most important when development of the brain happens and physical development happens.
Around the foundational stages.
That's correct, and that is why EdCom 2 is also focused on that. What we are trying to do now is find a way to identify what they term as wasted or severely wasted children, that's between 0 to 4, who are not enrolled in our daycare centers. When you enter a daycare center, then your health, your nutrition will be taken care of by the local government unit. But it appears that less than 20% actually go to our daycare centers. So that is one of the issues being tackled now. The next is to ensure now the 5 to 8. By 5 to 8, you're now enrolled probably in our DepEd schools. And so again, one size will not fit all. For certain areas, we will EdCom 2 will have to come up with recommendations on will it be a community kitchen. For some areas that are big, that it will be impossible to have a community kitchen, then maybe the recommendation for the local governments would be food packs, monthly food packs, so that we can just ensure that we take care of the health between 0 to 8. Another important area is teacher upskilling. Technology is here now, and technology is new to many, and there are teachers who probably will need help in order to upgrade their knowledge or upskill themselves in technology. Secondly, even with teachers, we have to also promote a career progression, provide for multiple career progression, so that they will also be given an opportunity to teach for as long as they want, and have a salary grade equal to a principal.
Again, Congressman, I just wanted to thank you so much for coming on for the interview today. You gave us so much wonderful insight into the educational system here in the Philippines and the many ways the youth and everybody can get involved into helping and bettering the system here. So thank you so much, Congressman.
Welcome, Rafa, and anytime it's good to be able to talk about these things, because again, we must all remember no one has a monopoly of all the solutions.
Yes.
In fact, because of this interview, maybe one time you will come back to me and say that, Congressman, there is another way, there are other problems, and that's why it's good to be that we continually talk about these things.
Exactly. And if you could leave one last message for all of the youth watching this, how can they, in their own ways and in their own small communities, get involved and sort of make a difference in their respective communities?
Well, actually, one thing that is being introduced now in our K-12 schools for grades 1 to 3 is what we call the Good Manners and Right Conduct, the GMRC. I think we all know that there are many of our individuals who are going through a lot of issues which can't be solely addressed by the school or by government. So, for everyone, you can play whatever role you want. The important thing is really to be kind to one another.
Exactly. Thank you so much, Congressman Romulo.
Thank you.
Again. Congressman Romulo, chairperson of the House Committee of Basic Education and Culture, has devoted most of his life in government to improving the educational system. While many challenges still remain, greater efforts to reform the education sector so that us Filipinos are job-ready upon graduation have been created by EdCom 2. On our part, the youth can also play an integral role in bettering the basic education system of the Philippines. And it's just as simple as Congressman Romulo said. You just gotta read, read, read.